Picture this. You're lying in bed, staring at the ceiling, thinking about something someone said or did to you. You wonder why it always ends up like this, why you end up feeling small and confused around that one person. That's the mark of the narcissist. They're not wearing a big, scary mask like in movies. No, they look normal. Sometimes they look perfect. They know how to smile, how to make people laugh, how to be charming. But inside, it's a different story. They're empty, looking for someone to feed on. That someone ends up being you. This isn't about being weak or dumb. Anyone can end up tangled up with a narcissist. They know how to look for people who care, people who want to help, people who want to see the best in others. That's you. That's why it happened. The first thing a narcissist does is make you feel special. Really special, like you matter more than anyone else around. Nobody else gets you like they do. Nobody else looks at you like that, talks to you like that, listens like that. It feels great. It feels like flying. But here's the trick, they don't mean it. It's just the first step in their plan. They want you to trust them. They want you to lean on them. Because once you do, they have you. They pull the rug out from under you. Suddenly, you're not so special anymore. They pull away, go cold, act distant. And you want that feeling back. You chase after it. You try harder. They're training you just like training a dog. Give you a treat, take it away, make you beg for it. This is their game, give you love, take it away, repeat. It keeps you hooked. That's their control. Next comes the silence. You write, you call, you wait. They don't answer. You start to worry. Did you do something wrong? Are they mad? Maybe you're the problem. When they finally come back, it feels like relief, like you can breathe again. You're so happy they're speaking to you, you forget to ask why they ignored you in the first place. Then gaslighting. That's when they make you doubt what you saw, what you heard, even what you felt. You say, "You hurt my feelings," and they say, "You're too sensitive." Or, "I never said that," even though you remember it word for word. You start to believe you can't trust your memory, your own eyes, your own heart. They make little jokes at your expense. They say things that sound sweet but sting. Are you really wearing that? Don't be so dramatic. These little comments add up. Your confidence starts to crack. You stop speaking up. You start shrinking little by little until you barely recognize yourself. And here's the kicker, they blame you for everything wrong. The stuff they do, they say you're the one doing it. You're so selfish. You never listen. It's a trick. They throw their garbage at your feet and expect you to pick it up. But listen to me now. The reason you feel so lost is because they want you to feel that way. If you're confused, you're easier to control. If you're always guessing, you'll never leave. That's what they want. But you can take off the blindfold. You can see the tricks for what they are. You can start to trust yourself again. When you name what's happening, the power starts to fade. You are not crazy. You are not too much. You are not broken. You've just been caught in a web made by someone who needs to feel big by making you feel small. Tonight, let this truth be your blanket. You do not have to fix them. You do not have to chase their love. You just have to see them for what they are and remember who you are before their words, before their games. That's how you begin to get your peace back. That's how you start to sleep at night, not because you're tired from fighting, but because you're finally free. We're just getting started. You're not alone in this. The darkness won't win, not as long as you open your eyes and see them for what they are. Let's walk through what really happens moment by moment like you're living it. Imagine you meet someone new. Maybe they're a friend, a partner, or even someone in your family. At first, it's all sunshine. They listen to you talk about listening. It's like they're hanging on your every word. They laugh at your jokes, remember your favorite things, maybe even say stuff like, "I've never met anyone like you." You feel seen. You feel picked, chosen, special. That's love bombing. That's step one. It feels good, right? Anyone would fall for it. It's not your fault. The way they do it, you start to trust them. You start to let them in. You think, wow, someone finally gets me. But the truth is, they're building a trap. See, after all that sweet talk, things change. Maybe suddenly, maybe slowly, they get busy. They stop texting back, or their replies are cold. They stop laughing at your jokes. You notice their eyes don't light up the same way. You wonder, did I do something wrong? You try harder. You think, maybe if I act a certain way, they'll go back to how they were. But that's the game. That's the trick. They want you wanting more, their time, their smile, their approval. So now you start working for it. You want to be good enough to get that glow back. You try to fix things, but you don't even know what went wrong. It's like chasing smoke. When you ask them what's wrong, they might say, "Nothing's wrong, you're imagining it." Or they just shrug and turn away. Suddenly you feel needy, annoying, too much. This is how they control you with confusion. You start to forget what's normal in a relationship. You think all the problems are because of something you did. Now here comes another move, the silent treatment. They ignore your messages, your calls. You start to worry. You think, are they okay? Did I mess up? Maybe you apologize even if you don't know what for. You feel sick until they answer you. When they finally do, you feel so relieved, like you've been rescued, and you'll do anything not to lose that feeling again. Let's talk about gaslighting, because this is key. Imagine you catch them lying or being rude or acting shady. You call them out. You say, "That hurt me," or "I saw what you did." But instead of talking about it, they turn it around. They say, "You're just being paranoid." Or, "You always make a big deal out of nothing." Or, "That never happened." It's like someone turning off all the lights in a room and saying, "See, there's nothing here." You start to think maybe they're right. Maybe you're too sensitive. Maybe you can't trust your own memory. And it happens again and again. Every fight ends with you apologizing. Every wrong thing that happens, somehow you did it. Even when you know deep down that's not true. But you give in because you want peace. You don't want to lose them. Here's another thing, they make fun of you, but in a way that doesn't sound mean at first. Sarcastic comments, weird little digs. "Oh, look who finally wants to spend time with me." Wow, you care now. You might laugh it off, but it hurts. Over time, these comments pile up. Your self-esteem starts to crumble. You shrink. You question your worth. And just when you think about leaving, they flip back to nice. They send a sweet message or buy you something or suddenly pay attention to you. You feel hope. You think, maybe they're changing. But it's just another trick to keep you there. They accuse you of things they're actually doing. If they lie, they call you a liar. If they're selfish, they say you only care about yourself. It's like fighting with a mirror, except the mirror keeps shouting your faults back at you until you break. All this makes you tired. Tired in your bones. You lose sleep because you're thinking about what you could do different, how you could make them stay happy, how you could be enough. But the truth is, you are enough. You always were. It's not you. It's their game, and you're stuck in it. But here's something real. The second you see the pattern, you start to take your power back. You see what's going on. You're not crazy. You're not broken. You don't need to try harder to make them love you. You just need to see the truth. The truth is, they need you to believe the worst about yourself, because deep down they can't stand who they are. That's why they feed on people's kindness, on hope, on trust. You have something they want, the ability to care, the ability to feel. That's why they picked you. But you can wake up. You can get out. You can start right now to put yourself first. Start with small things, saying no when you mean no, taking time for yourself, talking to people who build you up instead of tearing you down. Every little step is you taking back your life. Tonight, if you're lying in bed replaying every hurtful thing they said, remember this: you're good enough. You're worthy of healthy love. Their tricks stop working the day you see them for what they are. And that right there is the start of your freedom. The day you stop trying to fix a broken person is the day you start to heal yourself. That's the truth. That's your way out. The mask is off. Now you decide what happens next. You start to notice something else. Every time they lie or cheat or break your trust, they slam the blame on you. They twist the story until you're the villain. That's projection. They take what's inside them, their selfishness, their lies, their cruelty, and they pin it on you. You catch them sneaking out late or flirting where they shouldn't, and when you point it out, they say, "You're the jealous one. You're the suspicious one. I'm fine." You feel foolish for even asking. That's exactly how they want you. Then comes triangulation. They bring a third person into your fights without telling you. They'll call a friend or sibling and confess half-truths about you. They'll say, "I don't know if it's me or her," or "My friend thinks you're overreacting." Suddenly, you're not just arguing with them, you're battling an army you never saw coming. You start thinking, maybe everyone else sees it, and your world tilts again. But the third person never had the full story. They never knew the real you. You're defending yourself in the dark. This is their battleground. It's not about getting along. It's about control. It's about keeping you off balance. When you waste all your energy fighting shadows, you have none left to fight them. Every fight ends the same way. You're left holding pieces of yourself on the floor, and then they vanish for a moment. Or they flood you with apologies so grand they make your head spin. "I promise I'll change," they say. They might cry. The old warmth returns, flickering like a candle in the wind. You think, "This is it. We're good now." In that moment, you forgive them because you love them. You forgive them because you want to believe. You forgive because it hurts too much to admit that someone you love could be this person. But the next day, the wind blows out the candle. They're distant again, cold, unreachable, and you find yourself fighting for scraps, the tiniest bit of affection. That's trauma bonding. The pain hooks you deeper than the pleasure ever did. You start to feel alive only when the pain is there, because at least that means you matter. If you didn't hurt, you'd be nothing to them. Notice how your world shrinks. Your friends drift away because your phone is always buzzing with them. You stop going to family dinners because you need to deal with them. You cancel plans because you're waiting for their call. Your hobbies collect dust. Your joy is on hold, tucked away behind their moods. You catch yourself thinking, "As long as they love me, nothing else matters." That's the trap. They're the center of your universe, but you're just a satellite orbiting them, always at their mercy. Let's get real. This is abuse. Not the bruises on the skin kind, but the bruises on your heart kind. It digs deep. It infects your sense of self until you can't tell where you end and they begin. You internalize their words like their gospel. You wake up in the night, soaked in sweat, wondering what you did to deserve this. You rehearse lines in your head, planning the next apology. You watch your own life slip through your fingers, all because you haven't named the poison. Here's something most people don't know. Narcissists can smell weakness. They seek you out when you're vulnerable in a new job, after a breakup, homesick, lonely. They offer a hand, a shoulder, a safe place. But it's a mirage. It evaporates the moment you lean on it. They take advantage of you when you need kindness. And they teach you that kindness is rare, so you cling to it, even when it hurts. You might wonder why you don't leave. It's simple: fear and hope. Fear that you'll never find someone who cares. Fear that no one else will tolerate you. Fear that without them you're lost. And hope that one day they'll be the person they promised to be. Hope that if you just try harder, love more, wait longer, you'll get the happy ending. That hope is the anchor dragging you deeper. But here's the twist. The moment you decide you're worth more than their scraps, you break free. The moment you see their mask for what it is, a flimsy facade covering a hollow space, you don't have to fight them. You just walk away. Because a bully loses power the second you refuse to play their game. So how do you get there? Start by naming the tactics. Recognize when you're being love-bombed, when you're being gaslit, triangulated, blamed, triangulated again. Write it down. See the pattern. Feel the anger in your gut, the rage that says, "No one does this to me." That anger is your ally. It's the fire that pushes you forward. Talk to someone outside the web, a friend, a therapist, a support group. Saying the truth out loud cracks the spell. When another voice confirms, Yes, this is abuse. Your reality snaps back into focus. You begin to remember yourself, the person you were before you met them, the person you always were. Practice saying no. Small steps first. No to their sudden demands. No to their insults disguised as jokes. No to staying late on the phone begging for peace. Each no is a brick in the wall you build between their chaos and your life. Make a plan. It could be as simple as packing a bag and leaving for a night at a friend's house. Or it could be clearing out your bank account, finding a new place, cutting off contact. The details don't matter. What matters is you commit. You choose yourself. Yes, you'll feel guilty. They've taught you that without them, you're selfish. You've fed yourself the lie that your needs don't matter. But your needs do matter. Your feelings do matter. Your life does matter. The day you start acting like it, you reclaim what they stole. You'll heal in fits and starts. You'll have nights when fear creeps back in. Nights when you wonder if you did the right thing. That's okay. Keep moving forward. Reach out. Write it down. Hold on to your truth. One day you'll look back and barely recognize the person you were. The nightmares will fade. The cold sweats will stop. You'll sleep through the night without reliving every cutting word. You'll feel your heart open again. You'll meet people who see you, respect you, and build you up. You'll discover talents you forgot you had, passions you abandoned, dreams you shelved. And then you'll smile because you remembered who you are. You'll breathe deeper. You'll feel lighter. And that's the moment you realize the narcissist never had you. They only had a piece of you tied, bound, hidden away. But you were always whole. You just had to unmask the game and step into your own light. You lie awake again, 2 a.m. The darker weight on your chest. You replay every moment, every word that cut you deep, every look that froze you in place. It's like they've turned your mind into a haunted house, each room full of flickering shadows and whispered lies. You wonder if you're the only one who feels this way. You're not. Millions are trapped in the same late-night maze. Here's something nobody tells you. The real power of a narcissist isn't in their charm or their anger or their drama. It's in the way they make you doubt your own heart, your own gut. They dig at your sense of self, they shatter your trust in your instincts, and then they stand back with a satisfied grin as you search the floor for the pieces. But you have a remnant of unbroken self inside you. It's that little spark that whispered, "This isn't right," the moment they smiled too perfectly, the instant you felt a chill in their praise. That spark, it's a beacon. It'll guide you out of the maze. Right now, your inner voice is screaming for answers. You want to know how you got here, how to stop the spinning, how to claw back your life. So listen close. First, own your memory. You saw them flirt, you heard them lie, you felt the punch in your gut when they called you dramatic. These moments happened. Accept them as facts. Write them down if you have to. Seeing the timeline on paper cuts through the fog. You don't need a therapist's permission to trust your own eyes and ears. Second, set your boundaries in steel. You might be tempted to tiptoe around them, to soften your words so they don't get upset. Don't. Speak in clear sentences. I won't tolerate being ignored. I deserve respect in our conversations. I'm ending this call if you refuse to stop yelling. They'll scoff, they'll mock, they'll test you. Stand firm. Each time you defend your line in the sand, you retrain your brain. I am worthy. Third, build your fortress of support. Narcissists isolate you because alone you're fragile. Call your oldest friend. Reach out to that cousin who always believed in you. Join an online group where people share the same story. Hearing other voices say, "That happened to me," diffuses their power. You realize you're not a freak, not a magnet for drama, you're simply someone who got tangled in a toxic pattern. Fourth, embrace silence. No more chasing texts, phone calls, or social media likes from them. Every time you restrain yourself from checking your phone, you reclaim a piece of your freedom. For every hour you don't look, the chain loosens. You don't owe them your time, your attention, or your energy. You're the one with control now. Fifth, fill the void with yourself. When the silence echoes, don't let fear fill it. Instead, spend time doing what you love. Paint, run, cook, read, whatever fires you up. When you remember you can find joy on your own, you take away their greatest weapon, your craving for their approval. Maybe your inner voice whispers, but what about when they change? What if they really are sorry? That voice is the aftershock of their apologies. They'll promise to change in the glow of your relief. But remember, the second they sense your guard goes down, the cold creeps back. Their change is an act, rehearsed and ready. You deserve someone whose kindness doesn't vanish when they get bored. It's time to audition for a new role, the hero of your own story. Not the victim, not the fixer, not the martyr, but the hero standing tall, saying enough. Watch yourself do it. Feel that electricity in your veins when you say no and actually mean it. Feel your chest expand when you fill your lungs with fresh air, untainted by their drama. That expansion, that is you waking up. You might wonder, will I ever sleep again? Let me tell you what happens when you take these steps. The first week, your mind will fight you. You'll think, maybe I overreacted. You'll scroll through old texts, clinging to any sign of warmth. You'll fantasize about them missing you, begging you back. That's withdrawal. It's brutal, but it's temporary. By week 2, the fog thins. You'll catch yourself humming a tune from years ago, remembering laughter that had nothing to do with their sharp eyes or cutting words. You'll have moments of peace, short but powerful, like seeing a mountain peak emerge from clouds. You'll taste coffee in the morning without a pit of dread in your stomach. By month 1, you'll be taking yourself on dates to a museum, to a park, to a solo movie. You'll deliberately carve out pleasure for its own sake, no approval required. You'll notice your stomach unclenching. You'll smile at strangers. You'll look in the mirror and see someone who matters. Nighttime will still come, but instead of rehearsing their slights, you'll replay your small victories. The time you said no, the moment you stood your ground, the day you turned away from their chaos and chose yourself instead. Your eyelids will finally feel heavy with rest, not regret. Here's one last thing to remember. A narcissist's mask isn't iron, it's paper. You pried at the edges and tore it away. You've seen the emptiness behind that grin, that smirk, that perfect persona. You can't unsee the truth, and you shouldn't want to. Let that knowledge empower you. So tonight, when the dark invites you into doubt, shine your own light. Speak gently to yourself. I'm safe. I remember. I'm enough. Feel those words resonate in your bones until every fiber of your being hums with certainty. You've been living someone else's nightmare. Now it's time to dream your own dream, the one where you're free, whole, and unafraid. And when morning comes, rise with the sun. Not as a person haunted, but as a person reborn. You're back in that bed again, tossing and turning. The clock ticks. Your mind kicks off its nightly show. What did I do wrong? Why do they act so cold? Was I crazy for loving them? That dark loop is their final trick, the one they never tell you about. Future faking. Future faking is when they paint this perfect tomorrow just for you. When we move in together, just wait until our trip. We'll have kids, a house, everything will be perfect. It's a dream so bright you'll chase it through hell. You buy it because hope feels better than this hollow silence. But that future never comes. It's a cruel mirage, and every promise dissolves like morning mist. You cling harder, thinking, if I just hang on, if I just prove I'm worthy, they'll keep it. But they won't. They never do. Here's what happens next. You start living in a bubble of someday. You shrink your world down to make room for their empty words. You stop planning your life because you're busy believing theirs. You drop friends, quit hobbies, postpone dreams. Everything waits for that promised future. But the future never arrives because they don't intend it to. It's a leash, not a roadmap. So now you feel trapped twice over, first by their tantrums and lies, and second by promises you can't reach. You're stuck, panting, no way forward, no way back. That's the low point of the cycle. It's the edge they drive you to, so you'll beg for anything: love, pity, attention to break the pain. But here's the thing about lies, they fall apart when you face them with truth. You can see future faking for what it is, a bag of empty vows. You don't have to feed on their fairy tales. You can eat reality. Real friends, real laughs, real plans you control. You can start with one small step. Write down every promise they made that never showed up. See it all on paper. Watch the fantasy crumble. Watch the power slip from their hands. Now let's get even more real. You've seen the tactics: love bombing, intermittent reinforcement, gaslighting, projection, triangulation, and now future faking. They're all tools of the same trade to smoke out your confidence and pin you down. But tools only work in skilled hands. When you learn these moves, you disarm them. You become the one holding all the cards. Step 1. Stop telling yourself soon. No more "one day will be." Promise yourself this instead: tonight I'll sleep without dreaming of their face. Tomorrow I'll make a plan for me. Start small. Decide on one thing you want to do. Go for a walk at sunrise, call a friend at lunch, read a book for pleasure. Do it because you deserve it, because you matter to yourself. Step 2. Lose their number. Texts, calls, social media, wipe them away. You don't need to see their updates. You don't need to know who they're with or what they're doing. Every peek is like locking eyes with them through a loaded gun. Cut the sightlines. You want air? You need space. This is how you get it. Step 3. Learn the word no. Not maybe later, not I'll think about it. No, it's short, it's powerful, it stops their games in mid-air. They'll try to twist it, guilt trip you, threaten, cry, but you stand firm. Every time you say no and stick to it, you teach your heart that your needs come first. Step 4. Practice self-care like your life depends on it, because it does. Don't half-ass it. Full baths or hot showers with candles. Put on music that makes your soul hum. Write in a journal not about them, but about you, your dreams, your fear, your anger, your thrill. Sweat out the tears in a workout. Cook a meal you love. Paint your nails a color you love. These acts are your rebellion. They're the proof that you still exist, fully and fiercely. Step 5. Rebuild your story. In every toxic relationship, they chipped at your identity. Now scoop up those shards and glue them back. Who were you before all this? What did you love? Who believed in you? Reach back to that person and hold their hand. Let their voice in. Let yourself remember what it felt like to feel safe. It's not going to be a straight line. You'll fall back. You'll dream of their voice. You'll feel guilty for leaving. You'll miss the small moments, the laughter, the first sparks, the love yous. That's the hangover of addiction. But you get up. You brush off the shame. You remind yourself, that was bait. I'm smarter now. And when the cold nights come and you find yourself staring at your phone, thinking, maybe I'll just send a quick message, stop. Breathe. Feel your heart beating. Feel how your hands aren't shaking like they used to when you held your phone, waiting for their response. Feel the calm returning. That pause, that's your freedom speaking. That's the space you claimed back from their chaos. Soon you'll realize you don't need their future. You can build your own. Your plans will come with you, the trips, the career, the friendships, even love again. Love that doesn't tear you apart, but builds you up. Love that shows up day after day, not like a comet, but like the sun, steady, reliable, warming you without burning you. Before long, you'll laugh at their promises, not from bitterness, but from relief that you escaped. You'll look back and see that you were stranded in a desert of their lies, thirsty for truth. Now you're in an oasis of your making, and there's plenty of water here, your own strength, your own voice, your own life. Tonight, slip between the sheets and whisper to yourself, I see the trap, I won't fall for it again. Feel that resolve in your bones. Feel the corner of your mind lift like a curtain. Behind it is a path forward, rough maybe, but yours. No more illusions. No more chains. Only the real world waiting for you to step back into it. So you close your eyes, you breathe in the dark, you let go of their ghost, and for the first time in a long time you sleep. Not like a hostage, but like a survivor. And tomorrow you wake up as yourself, unmasked, unbroken, unstoppable. You've walked through their tricks, the grand welcome mat of love bombing, the drip-drip of intermittent rewards, the mind-bend of gaslighting, the blame and counterblame of projection, the chaos chorus of triangulation, the castle of empty promises in future faking. You know the anatomy of their betrayal. But now let's get even darker, because when you know the depth of the pit, you can climb out of it. Picture your last argument. You said what you needed. They replied with that cool smile, that brush-off tone, "You're overreacting." Or worse, "I can't believe you're making this about you again." In that moment your skin prickled with fresh doubt. Maybe I am too much, you wondered. That doubt is their final stage, self-erasure. They want you to shrink until you're a ghost in the next room, silent, compliant, harmless. They whisper it in a dozen ways: forgetfulness, "I forgot you don't like that," bemused annoyance, "Why are you so sensitive?" Strategic compliments, "I love how emotional you are, it's cute." Each one chips away at your right to feel real. The message: your emotions are a problem. So you tuck them away. You stop roaring. You no longer trust the tremor in your throat or the fire in your chest. You become a well-oiled machine of not wanting to cause trouble. Here's the monster's real strength. Self-erasure turns you into its ally. You police yourself so strictly, you defend their behavior because any protest feels too risky. You become the jailer of your own voice. But learn this: your voice is your superpower. It's wired to your truth, to your boundaries, to the raw facts of your life. Every time you silence it to protect their fragile ego, you hand them another brick for the wall around your heart. So let's bulldoze that wall. Right now, wherever you are, tense your fists for 5 seconds. Feel the strength in your grip. That same power lives in your voice. So open your mouth and whisper it, even if it's only to the ceiling. My feelings are valid. I matter. Say it again. Feel the vibration in your chest. That's not mythic hype, that's biology. Your body knows it's true. Next, recall the last time they twisted your words. You said, "I need space," and they countered, "Oh, so you don't love me anymore." They weaponized your need for boundaries into ammunition against you. This is emotional hijacking. They seize your words, turn them into weapons, and fire them back. Their ammo is your compassion, your empathy, your desire to keep the peace. Here's how to diffuse it. Speak in statements, not apologies. "I need an hour alone to recharge." "No, I'm sorry, no, I hope you understand." Clean, clear facts. Think of it like putting your words through a filter, no emotional residue left to be twisted. They'll flail for a reaction, don't give them one. Breathe. Walk away. If they scream at the echo of your footsteps, let it bounce off you. The person hollering is the one who lost control. Now let's talk about their secret courtroom, your head. In there, they hold trial after trial where you're always guilty. Guilty of being too loud, too quiet, too needy, too independent, whatever fits their whim. And the verdict is always the same. You need fixing. You need pleasing. You need them. But you own that courtroom. You're the judge, jury, and defendant. You decide what your thoughts become. Here's an exercise. Every time your inner critic starts in "you're weak," "you're selfish," "you messed up," say "object" out loud or in your head. It's a legal technique, shorthand that stops the attack. It reminds you, you are not their victim. You are a person with rights. After you object, refute with evidence. Did they call you selfish, but you just stayed up all night listening to their problems? Point that out. I am generous. I am compassionate. I matter. Claim your history back from their lies. Okay, let's go deeper. You might wonder, if they're this skilled at warping reality, how do I trust mine again? You start by logging real data. Keep a no gaslight journal. Write date, time, exact quote, your reaction. No feelings, just facts. 6 months from now, when your gut goes gray with doubt, you'll flip back through pages and remember, yes, it happened. This record is your truth shield. It repels their fog every time. Then there's the power of external reality checks. Find one person, a friend, a counselor, a hotline volunteer who you can text or call when you need validation. Hey, I just heard them say you're too sensitive. Does that sound okay to you? It's like beam testing in construction. You're seeing if your internal pillars are still straight. Most of the time you'll hear, yes, you're not crazy, that's not okay. That response alone is a bolt in your spine that keeps you upright. Let's not sugarcoat the nightmare though. You will have nights where you tuck the journal under your pillow, phone by your ear, fingers hovering over their name. You'll sweat messages you'll never send. You'll imagine alternate endings. If only you had said this, if only you'd walked away sooner. Accept this as the echo of trauma, not proof of weakness. Even soldiers hear bombs after the war is over. Let the echoes fade. Offer them kindness, not punishment. And trust in time. 10 days, 10 weeks, 10 months, they'll all matter. You'll feel the layers of panic, guilt, hope, withdrawal fall away like dead skin. You'll wake up one morning and realize you haven't thought of them. Or you do, but with neutrality, not fire. That neutrality lets your healing bleeding through. Once you're solid on your ground, you can refine the final weapon in your arsenal: forgiveness. Not for them, for you. Forgiving them doesn't mean letting them back in. It means releasing the chains you've been dragging. You've spent enough nights carrying their shadow. Now you can set it down. You're free to walk away with your head high, your shoulders back, your voice strong. Now glance at your reflection, not the tired, hollow-eyed version, the one with a spark in their gaze. That spark is your real self waking up. It's been there beneath the rubble of manipulation. It's fierce, honest, unbreakable. Tonight, let the darkness remind you of one thing: you chose your mind over their madness. You pried open your skull and yanked out every rotten seed they planted. You rewrote the story of your worth. You grounded yourself in truth, anchored your heart in boundaries, licensed your voice to speak freely. So close your eyes now and rest. Feel the calm pulse behind your ribcage. It's your heart reclaiming its space. And when you breathe out, it carries away their last ghost of power. Tonight, you don't just sleep, you rise into yourself. You are lucid, awakened, unmasked. And tomorrow, you live that truth out loud. You've come a long way, peeling back layer after layer of their deception. You know the moves, the flash of approval, the sudden silence, the blame shift, the empty promises. You've felt the sting, the confusion, the shame, the emptiness. And now you're here, awake in the dark, ready for the next step. Right now, your mind might be racing through the past, every text, every fight, every tear. That's normal. It's your brain trying to solve a puzzle it was never meant to complete. But there's nothing more to figure out about them. The only thing left is you, your scars, your desires, your real story. So let's turn this inward. Let's talk about rebuilding the person they tried to erase. First, meet your inner child. Remember the you before all of this, the kid who dreamed wildly, who laughed freely, who believed in magic. That kid still inside, hidden behind walls you built to survive the abuse. Tonight, invite that child back. Picture them in your mind's eye, small, hopeful, unguarded. Hold them close. Whisper, "I'm here. You're safe." Let the warmth of your promise wash away a sliver of the frost that settled in your heart. Next, reclaim your rituals. Maybe you used to dance in your bedroom to your favorite song, or sketch on napkins while waiting for class to start, or read late into the night under a blanket fort. Whatever it was, start it again. These aren't childish indulgences, they're your secret gateways back to joy. Light a candle, play that track, pick up that paintbrush. Let the ritual remind you that pleasure isn't a trap, it's a lifeline. Now rebuild your boundaries, not as rules to keep people out, but as lines that mark where your peace begins. Stand in the doorway of your day and say out loud, "Here I choose me." It might sound weird at first. You'll feel a tremor in your chest. But over time, that phrase will turn into armor. You'll walk into work, into friendships, into new relationships carrying a quiet knowledge. You set the terms now. Speaking of new relationships, give yourself permission to grow cautious, but not paranoid. You're allowed to pause before you let someone in. You can ask questions. You can demand consistency. If someone's words don't match their actions, you don't ignore the alarm bells. You listen. You say, "Show me you mean it." Protecting yourself isn't cruelty, it's sanity. Now let's get practical. Your daily mind is still wired for their drama. It wants to flip on that old tape and spin the same scenes. You need a mental signal to break the cycle. Here's what I want you to do. Choose a keyword, a single word that yanks you back to reality. Could be anchor, enough, breathe, anything that snaps the loop. When your thoughts drift to them, when you catch yourself rehearsing their lies, say that word. Say it like a spell. Feel it reverberate through your skull. It rips you out of the past and plants you firmly in the now. As you practice this, notice how your body feels. You'll feel tension in your shoulders, a tightness in your chest. Let each keyword come with a deep breath and a physical release. Let your shoulders drop, unclench your jaw, soften your fists. You're teaching your muscles to relax on command. That way, when next week you get a flash of memory, you'll have both the mental and physical tools to stay calm. Let's talk about forgiveness, not of them, but of you. You might blame yourself for staying too long, for missing the signs, for giving them chances. That blame is a second prison. You did the best you could with the awareness you had. You were vulnerable to a predator's charm. You didn't deserve it. Forgive yourself for trusting, for hoping, for loving hard. That forgiveness is a key you carry in your hand. Use it to unlock the bitterness that's stuck in your throat. Once you've forgiven yourself, you clear space for real love, the kind that's steady, mutual kind. You'll meet people who match your energy, who respect your boundaries, who celebrate your quirks instead of mocking them. When that happens, you'll know it because your heart will feel warm, not hollow. Your mind will feel curious, not cautious. You'll smile from someplace deeper than relief. You'll smile from belonging. But until then, let self-love fill the gaps. Make a list of 10 things you love about yourself. Maybe it's your persistence, your loyalty, your sense of humor. Post it somewhere you can see it every morning. Read it before you check your phone, before you check the news, before you check anything. That list is your daily declaration. I exist. I'm whole. I matter. And when the nights get cold and doubt creeps back, because it will have a self-care arsenal ready. It could be a playlist of fierce songs, a worn-out book that feels like home, a video of your favorite comedian making you laugh, a podcast that reminds you others survived too. When the dark knocks, answer with one of these tools. Let them outshine the ache of old wounds. You're retraining your brain, but you're also retraining your heart. Let it beat steady. Let it trust again in small ways, a friend who checks on you, a co-worker who notices your good work, a sibling who remembers your birthday. Those small acts are the stitches sewing your trust muscle back together. Each time you let someone's kindness sink in, you grow stronger. Now imagine your future. Not the fantasy they sold you, but a real vision you choose. Where do you live? Who's beside you? What lights you up? See it with all your senses, the scent of the air, the weight of the cup in your hand, the sound of laughter. Let this vision fill you with real hope, the kind that doesn't leave you dangling on empty promises, but propels you forward with purpose. Every morning, spend 5 quiet minutes in that future. Close your eyes, breathe into it, feel the excitement. That's your fuel for the day. It's the opposite of their future, faking. It's a contract you write with yourself, backed by real plans and real steps. Finally, stamp this into your soul. You are safe. You survived the war in their mind. You walked through the darkest tunnels of manipulation, and you came out the other side alive, not broken. You are whole, you are human, you are free. So tonight when you lie down, let go of their ghost. Let your inner child curl up beside you. Let the quiet rituals rock you. Let your boundaries cradle you. Let your self-love hum a lullaby. Let your future vision cast its gentle glow. And then sink into sleep. Deep, real sleep where nightmares can't find you. Sleep where your brain recharges, where your heart rests, where your spirit grows. Sleep as the person you always were, the person you choose to be, the person who knows without a doubt you are enough. You've hit the point where the old scripts, the endless loops of self-doubt and replaying their words start to crack under their own weight. You feel something shift inside, a tremor that whispers, "I'm done listening to that noise." Good. That tremor is your true voice breaking through the static. Now let's turn it up until it drowns out every last echo of their manipulation. 1. Claim back your time. Look at your day. See how much of it was swallowed by their needs, the frantic texts, the late-night worry calls, the mental energy spent replaying scenes. Let's steal that time back. Tonight, block out a solid hour, no phone, no screens, no interruptions. Fill it with one thing that isn't about them. Reading a chapter of a novel, taking a long bath, learning a guitar chord. Own that hour as sacred. Repeat it daily. Each reclaimed hour is like putting $1 in your self-worth bank. 2. Tune into your body. You heard a lot about mind games, tactics, and words. But where do those tactics land? In your body. Your chest tightens, your stomach flips, your hands shake. Those are red flags, big neon signs blinking on and off. Start scanning your body for tension throughout the day. Roll your shoulders. Breathe into your ribs. Stretch out your neck. Use your body as an alarm system. When you feel unease, that's your inner voice shouting, "Watch out." You don't need an internal translator, you just need to notice the signal. 3. Confront the inner critic. They installed a harsh critic inside your head. The one that says, "You shouldn't feel this," or "You'll never find anyone else." That's not you, that's their ghost. Now it's time to evict it. Give that inner critic a ridiculous name, Sir Snark-a-Lot, the judge, Doomy McDoomface, anything that strips it of authority. When it pipes up, address it by name. "Thanks, Snark-a-Lot, but I don't need your feedback." Then pivot to your champion voice. "I am strong. I am smart. I am allowed to feel exactly what I feel." Over time, the critic's volume shrinks until it's background noise you can ignore. 4. Map your emotional landscape. Grab a sheet of paper and draw 2 columns, triggers and reactions. Under triggers, list moments when you felt controlled, scared, or small, the silent treatment, that cruel joke, the unkept promise. Under reactions, jot down how you responded: apology, chase back texts, self-blame. This map shows you the old territory you've been wandering in. Circle the triggers you can avoid, like reaching out at 2 a.m. For the unavoidable ones, a coworker who gaslights, a family member who triangulates, write a 3rd column. New response, a clear, calm, practiced answer you'll use next time. Having this cheat sheet means you won't wander blind into the same traps. 5. Build sacred boundaries. Remember when you felt you had to explain yourself, or worse, apologize just to get an explanation. That ends now. Craft a boundary script. I'm not available after 9 p.m. I don't discuss our problems over text. I will end this conversation if you insult me. Practice saying it in front of a mirror until the words feel alive in your mouth. Each repetition is a rep for your willpower muscle. Soon you won't hesitate to lift that boundary shield at the first sign of attack. 6. Practice radical honesty with you. You owe it to yourself to speak the whole truth without filters. That means journaling not just about what they did, but how it landed in you. The fear it sparked, the shame it dredged up, the anger that pulsed through your veins. Don't judge your entries, let them be messy. Over time, you'll see patterns, old wounds, recurring fears, buried desires. That clarity is a treasure map to your deeper self. 7. Reinforce with allies. Isolation was their weapon. You fight it with solidarity. Identify 2 or 3 people who get it: friends, mentors, support group members, a therapist. Schedule regular check-ins, a weekly coffee, a video call, a walk in the park. Tell them exactly what you need: a reality check, a pep talk, a listening ear. When you feel weak, lean on them. When you feel strong, celebrate with them. You're not alone in this fight. Remember that front line of allies standing with you. 8. Cultivate new rituals. They stole rituals from you: late-night chats with friends, weekend hikes, cooking with music. Reinstate those cherished habits or start new ones. Maybe you wake up to a 5-minute stretch sequence. Maybe you meditate with an app. Maybe you dedicate Sunday mornings to trying one new recipe. These rituals are anchors in rough seas, reminders of the life you reclaim every day. 9. Rewire your narrative. All those stories you told yourself, "I'm broken, I'm too much, I'll never get over this," they're just words. Now write a new narrative. I survived emotional warfare. I'm rebuilding my strength. I'm worthy of honest love. Read that new script every morning. Speak it into your phone as a voice memo. Let it seep into your bones until it's the first thing you believe when you open your eyes. 10. Envision your next chapter. Up to now, you've been dismantling, exposing, escaping. Now it's time to build. Close your eyes and picture 1 year from today. Where are you living? What's your morning routine? Who are the people in your life? What projects light you up? Let the images be vivid: the scent of coffee, the feel of fresh sheets, the sound of your laughter. Hold that vision in your chest. It becomes a gravitational pull, drawing you forward with real momentum, not hollow dreams. Tonight, when the darkness presses in and old doubts whisper, blast your inner sonics. Your body is your ally. Your mind is your fortress. Your heart is your compass. Let every breath steel you for the next move. You're not just escaping a narcissist's trap. You're stepping into the grand arena of your own making. So breathe. Feel your chest rise and fall. Listen to the pulse in your throat, the echo of your true voice. And then close your eyes, drift into the deepest sleep you've known in years, because tomorrow marks day one of the rest of your life. You're not the same person who walked into that maze. You're the one who found the exit and built a mansion once you stepped outside. You made it. Really listen to that. You made it. You stared down the twisted maze of manipulation and didn't just crawl out. You smashed a hole through the wall and walked out with your head high. You faced every tactic: the love bombs, the silent treatments, the guilt trips, the fake futures, the blame and the shame. You sat in the long, quiet hours and let your pain teach you instead of break you. Now take a deep breath. Let your shoulders relax. Let the tension melt from your forehead. Feel your lungs fill up, your heartbeat slowing, your body remembering how to rest. You're not waiting for their approval. You're not chasing their crumbs. You're not desperate for the next apology that never really comes. This is your moment, the first in a long line of nights that belong to you. Maybe you're scared. That's okay. Fear is natural when you're stepping into something real after living in a fog. Let fear ride shotgun, but don't let it take the wheel. Every step forward is proof you're stronger than the ghosts behind you. Every night you sleep a little deeper, every smile that slips back onto your face, every ounce of peace you protect, those are all victories. Celebrate them. Let them build and grow until they're too big for anyone to take away. You might stumble. Old memories will creep up some nights. That's normal. Don't fight it. Let the feelings come, let them go, and know that every time you get up again, you're choosing yourself. That's real power, the kind no narcissist, no manipulator, no dark trick can ever touch again. So let's say goodbye not just to this journey, but to all the lies and shadows that tried to own you. Say goodbye to self-doubt, to the need for their attention. Wave off every scrap of guilt that never belonged to you. Thank the pain for what it taught you and let it drift away lighter each time you exhale. You get to choose from here. Your story is yours now. Fill your days with color and laughter and real connection. Stand tall when you walk into a room. Don't shrink for anyone. Trust the lesson in your bones. Nobody gets to rewrite your worth. You decide what happens next. So goodbye, friend. Go out into your world with your mask off, heart bright, mind fierce. If you ever find yourself lost in that old maze again, remember this path. Remember your strength. Remember that you made it through. Thanks for staying with us until the end. See you again tomorrow.